Welcome to the Colonial School District's Board Reorganization meeting. At this time, I would ask that everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Drew, can you help with the echo?
The Pennsylvania School Code stipulates that all public school boards must meet annually during the first week in December to reorganize. The code requires that during this meeting, the board must elect a temporary president to chair the meeting, read and present certificates of election for new members, administer the oath of office to new members, and elect a permanent president and vice president to serve one-year terms. Now is the time for public comment on the agenda, if there's any public comment.
I did receive one via email, which I will share now. It is from Adam Shupak of White Marsh Township. I had intended to be at the meeting this evening in person to congratulate the new board members on their swearing in and extend my best wishes to the new board. Unfortunately, something came up last minute this afternoon, so I am unable to be there to congratulate you personally. Service on a school board is an awesome responsibility and public trust. I know it is one you will take seriously and fulfill with integrity. I want to thank you all for your willingness to serve the community at a challenging time for school boards and public education. It is commendable that you have volunteered to serve during an unprecedented global pandemic when school boards are being forced to confront very difficult, imperfect choices. You bring valuable perspectives and experiences as educators, parents, veterans, and community members that will help you as you build upon the district's successes, navigate the challenges we face, and lift up the voices of those in our community who have not always been heard. I wish you the very best, and if my recent experience as a member of this board could be helpful, please don't hesitate to contact me. As the parent of two students at White Marsh Elementary, your success is our success. Best, Adam Shupak, White Marsh Township.
Are there any other comments? Okay, let the record show that there are 5 seated members of the board and that all 5 members are present. They are Chris Epstein, Susan Moore, Beth Petruno, Kathy Baduzzi, and Beth Suchland. The record will also show that 3 newly elected board members are present to be sworn in this evening. They are Jamina Clay, Gail Plant, and William Winchester. At this time, we will elect a temporary president. Only the currently seated 5 board members may participate. I would like to nominate Beth Suchland to be the temporary president. We do not need a second. So, all in favor? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Christian, can you affirm that all newly elected board members have submitted their certifications of election?
Yes, we received a letter from Montgomery. We received a letter from Montgomery County Municipal General Elections certifying the results of Jamina Clay, Gail Plant, and William Winchester to serve on the Colonial School Board.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, I'd like to ask Plymouth White Marsh High School Distinguished Alumni and Montgomery County Common Pleas Court Judge, the Honorable Wendy Rothstein, to swear in our new board members.
We'll do it alphabetically. How's that? Jamina Clay. Want to come forward? That's you, but
There's no hiding now, Jamina.
And you can have an odd question to ask in the school. Do we have a Bible? If not, we can affirm. Anyone bring a Bible? All right.
Actually, that's not an odd question, but yeah, no.
Usually you don't have one in the school, but we will affirm. You want to come forward? You want to have any family members that want to come up?
And then they're on the way down. Do you have a Bible? Do we want to wait? Do we want to wait a second? Dr. Christian's going to check. Okay. Or Joe. Okay. mom and then I'll.
We're asking a lot. Whatever you want.
Okay, she likes to talk.
Come over a little bit more. Leave you and come here. Smiling under there.
Yeah. Why don't you guess just with them?
Okay, just the three.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, I have it. All right, you can have one or more of your family members hold the Bible.
Oh, my mom will hold the Bible. Okay, you want to hold the Bible? You want to hold the Bible? Clayton will hold the Bible.
All right. You can both hold the Bible. All right, you're gonna put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. All right, you're gonna repeat after me. I, Jamina Clay,
I, Janina Clay,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
and that I will discharge the duties of my office
as a school director
as a school director
in the Colonial School District with fidelity.
in the Colonial School District of Fidelity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your plant want to come forward, and our family can hold the Bible. Or friends, whoever you'd like can come up. Everyone can come up. Everyone can come up. You want to stay? We'll go over here. How's that? Here in the center.
Yeah, I think it'll
Sorry.
be better with them. Make sure everyone gets it nice and close.
Repeat after me. I, Gail, solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the Commonwealth of that I will discharge the duties of my office as a director of Colonial School District. Winchester, that I will support and defend I will discharge as a director.
So while the judge is signing the papers, I just, and I'm sure all of my fellow seated members will agree, we remember doing that. It is a really cool moment when you put your hand on that Bible and you're swearing to uphold the Constitution. That's huge. And I just want to make sure that the five of us who've said these things already, that it's wonderful for us to hear that again and realize the importance of the role that we are playing. You know what I mean? So really, it is a huge deal. And it looks like you all and your supporters recognize that. And I just want to take a moment to express the fact that I am recognizing it again. And I assume that the rest of us are sort of feeling that way as well. So congratulations, super cool.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And actually, I have this conversation a lot. People don't realize how important, what a role the school board plays in their everyday lives, right? I mean, you have the federal, you have the state, but as far as day to day, your local taxes, your school district, your property value, what you offer to residents outside of it, all these different things. We're one of the largest employers in the colonial area. It is a big responsibility, and I do remember my son was in kindergarten the first time, and now he's a freshman in college. But it is great, and so welcome. Did anyone else want to say anything? Okay.
Just
go
welcome
ahead.
aboard. It's going to be an honor working with you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now we need to elect a president to serve a sorry, my glasses are fogging. A one-year term. I'd like to start with the nomination. I think we would be hard-pressed to find another resident in Colonial School District that has dedicated and volunteered more time to the students, residents, and the overall Colonial community than Susan Moore. She has served in many leadership roles on the school board, but for those that don't know, she also holds seats on the Plymar board, the technical school board, and participates as a member on the Colonial Education Fund Foundation, as well as the Plymouth White Marsh Distinguished Graduates, which in my opinion, you are long overdue in becoming. Just going to throw that out there. Being on a school board these last couple years is and continues to be a challenge. To say that we have been swimming through uncharted waters would certainly be an understatement. Through all of that, and while we as individual board members have agreed and at times adamantly disagreed on how to proceed, Sue has been a stabilizing force in ensuring that we remain focused on forging the best path forward side by side with our administration and making sure that they feel supported. While I do believe that change can be good and change in leadership can certainly be good, for this moment in time, as we welcome 3 new board members, and we will need a 4th, and while we continue to maneuver through what continues to be a stressful and uncertain time this year, I believe that we would be best served to elect Sue Moore to remain as the president of the school board for this year, and so that is a nomination. And so I'd ask if there's a second. Okay, a second. And are there any other nominations? Thank you. Okay. Hearing none, all in favor? Oh, yes? Never been president. Okay, all right, so that closes the nominations?
Move to close.
Okay, I move to close the nominations.
I second that.
You have a second? Okay.
Yep.
This is why I'm never a president.
All in favor?
Okay, all in favor?
So we're closing the
Oh,
nominations. Yeah.
okay. Now,
Now,
all right, all in favor of Sue Moore becoming the president?
Did you need to make that a motion in a second, or?
I motioned when I made.
Okay.
Yeah. I know I did that. Okay, all right. Congratulations.
thank you. You can tell we only do this once a year, and we have to practice more. Thank you all very much for your confidence. It has, as Beth said, been a very challenging last almost 2 years now. And certainly everyone on the board, the current seated members and our new members incoming, this is going to continue to be a challenging year. And I look forward to working with all of you I think you will find it to be an enjoyable experience most of the time and very, very rewarding. I've been doing it for quite a long time, and it is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. So thank you for your confidence, and we will now move on to nominations for Vice President. Are there any nominations?
I would like to nominate Beth Petruno as Vice President of the School Board for the 21-22 school year. For the past 2 years, Beth has been chairperson of the Curriculum Committee and has been on the Human Resources Committee. She's been involved in successful negotiations with both of our teachers and our food service staff. This year, we will be in negotiations with both our administrative team and our support staff. Along with her negotiation experience, Beth's interpersonal and collaboration skills, spirit, and dedication would be a valuable asset to our leadership team. It would be my honor to work with her as Vice President.
Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to close nominations. Is there a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Kathy. Any comments from anyone? Okay, I'll jump in, and I just want to say that take this opportunity to thank Beth Suchland for her years of service as the Vice President. She always jokes that I'm the yin to her yang, and we are just very opposite, but work well together. It's been a pleasure working with you. Beth her work commitment has increased tremendously, and she can no longer take the responsibilities of being Vice President. There's a lot of time involved. And the way we worked, if I had a meeting, Beth was invited and participated in that meeting. So the time commitment is just not something she can do any longer. I just wanted to make that very clear, that it's not that anybody doesn't want her. Everybody would love to have her. Everybody would love to have her as their president or vice president. She's very knowledgeable, and thank you for that. And that's it. Any other comments before we vote?
And I think Beth will be a great vice president, but I think it's really important to change to get fresh people as well. I agree it's good to keep consistency with Sue there. I unfortunately would have thrown my hat in the ring if I had more time available, because I do think it's good also to give everyone an experience in doing that. So I know you'll kick its butt, and you have a wonderful person sort of leading you down the path. So I look forward to voting for you and working under both of your leadership. And thank you to you too, of course.
Any other comments? All right, all in favor? You can vote for yourself, Beth. All right. Congratulations, Beth, and I look forward to working with you as well.
And I look forward to moving down there.
No, but thank you, and I really look forward to, continuing to learn from Sue and from our administrative team and working with everyone else. I think it's going to be great, and really excited to have everyone here. And it's really, really great to see so many people in the audience, so hopefully people will continue to come back to meetings. So thank you for all being here.
Now that you've agreed to be vice president, I didn't read this line. The vice president shall assume the responsibilities of the president in the absence of the president. Just letting you know. Okay, other business. At this time, we have a board vacancy. I would like to make a motion to declare that a position that was going to be taken by elected candidate Patricia D'Onofrio as a result of her written refusal letter dated November 3rd, 2021, to take her seat on the Colonial School Board. Her position now is vacant as of December 1st, 2021, as the result of Section 3319 of the Public School Code, which states, if any person elected or appointed as school director who has been notified of his election or appointment shall refuse or neglect to qualify as such director within 10 days next succeeding the beginning of his or her term of office, the remaining members of the board may declare his or her office as director vacant. This office shall be filled from the qualified electors of the district. Do we have to vote on that? Okay, sorry. You wrote it for me. The board further directs the district administration to solicit applicants via the district's publicly accessible website to fill the vacancy until the next municipal election year reorganization meeting occurring in December of 2023, to schedule interviews of interested resident applicants at a public meeting and either on the same date as the interviews or another date prior to December 23rd, 2021, to schedule a public meeting for the board to vote to fill the hereby declared vacancy. That is a motion, so moved. Is there a second?
Second?
Any comments or questions from anyone on the board?
Yes, can you put that in layman's terms?
Sure. It means that the school code says that you're supposed to qualify within 10 days. Normally, we would give that person 10 days from today to actually get the oath taken. However, this person has already submitted a letter saying she is not going to do that. So she is refusing the position. Therefore, the board is going to declare the seat vacant and is then going to move to have the seat filled by somebody that you're going to fill it with. It will be only for the next 2 years. At the next municipal election, which is 2 years from now, it will be filled for the remainder of the term, which is another 2 years after that.
So we will interview, we're opening it up to all members of the public to submit how would they, if someone in our audience wants to run for this or get appointed to this, if you or Dr. Christian could just explain that, what's the way that they would do that?
We'll have the process posted on the website tomorrow
Okay,
with an application that can be downloaded and submitted either electronically or dropped off at the district office.
okay,
And then we will collect all of the applicants. The goal is to collect applications starting tomorrow through the end of next week. And then there's we already have an FMT meeting on December 13th. So I was thinking, since the board already has that night out, we could turn around and have interviews potentially that night and then a board meeting to appoint someone to the vacant seat. That's the tentative plan.
okay, and then that seat, just to reiterate, that person will hold that position unelected, but voted by the board for the full 2 years till the next election. And then they would run with the 5, so it would be 6 people running in the next
Correct.
one.
Yeah.
Should they choose to run
So
after the
there's
2
going to
years?
be, so there's going to be 6 positions. In 2 years, there's going to be 6 board positions available.
Understood. Okay.
Right.
And
Right.
this has happened many times before, but it's the first time in quite a while. So,
So if I just want to add to that for anybody who's interested. This is a great opportunity. A lot of people that I've spoken to are saying they'd be interested in being on the school board, but they're nervous about running for a public office, right? And what does that? So I think this is a great opportunity for someone who thinks they might be interested in being on the school board to come in and get to see what it's all about. It's a great trial run. Absolutely. And then decide if you love it enough to go through yeah, right. Really, it's a great opportunity to come in and check it out and see what you think about it, and then, decide if you like it enough to run or not. So I do think it's a really good opportunity for anyone who has thought about it but is nervous about actually running for an office.
and I think the date that Dr. Christian mentioned, we'll have to make sure that enough board members can be present that night. So it's a tentative date, but check it on your calendars.
Thank you for that question.
So just to clarify, it has to be submitted in writing with the application that will be available on our website, correct?
The application can be done in writing or online. Okay, at this time, I'd like to make, go ahead, I'm sorry, you have more?
It's not it can't be completed online. It can be downloaded and someone could scan it back to us. But it's not a form, it's not a Google form they can fill out.
Gotcha.
I don't think we voted.
Do, I'm sorry. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, all in favor of posting the position as vacancy? Aye? Aye. All right, thank you. A mo,
Sorry,
yeah,
I just wanted to, I'll wait.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the continued use of the existing signature plates until new signature plates can be prepared reflecting the appointment of Mrs. Petruno as Vice President. The financial manager is authorized to arrange for the preparation of said signature plates, so the intent of this motion can be effectuated if, okay? That's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Any questions about that? All in favor?
It's really exciting stuff, isn't it, guys?
That's as exciting as it gets. Okay, at this time, any closing comments?
I would like to know if we need to amend the agenda to include the seat for the Joint Operating Committee.
We do. Thank you, Mrs. Epstein. Dr. Christian? We need to make an appointment for someone to fill a vacant seat on the Central Montgomery County Technical High School. We have to make a motion to amend the agenda?
So should I make that
Okay,
motion?
you made the motion to amend the agenda.
I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add a vote for the open seat that we have on the Joint Operating Committee of the Central Montgomery Technical High School.
So moved.
So under Act 65, what you need to do, not only vote to amend the agenda, you have to give a reason why you're doing that tonight rather than simply letting it
That's
go
what okay.
to another meeting to do it at a
Okay,
later point.
so we have
So-
been asked,
Go ahead.
we have been asked to move, normally we would make that appointment once the new people have come on board and can find out what the job entails. However, the Central Montgomery County Technical High School has asked us to do that this evening to facilitate their reorganization meeting next week. So that's why we had to quickly add it to the agenda. And so we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Beth, and any questions or comments from anyone? Right, move it on to the agenda. All in favor? Okay, now it's on the agenda. Good. I would like to make a motion to appoint William Winchester to a vacancy on the Central Montgomery County Technical High School Board. For those that don't know, that this Technical High School Board consists of 3 members of each of the sending districts, which is Upper Merion, Norristown, and Colonial. Mrs. Epstein and I already sit on that board, and Mr. Winchester will be our 3rd participant on that board. So that's a motion. If I could have a second. Beth? Any questions or comments on that?
Just a question, did you clarify how long this term is for?
His term is for 3 years. 3 years. Thank you. All in favor? Welcome, Mr. Winchester. We'll let you know, Dr. Christian will let you know when your first meeting is. All right, any other comments from the board or public comments?
We have one email public comment from Tim O'Brien, Plymouth Meeting. 3 children in the school district. What is the goal that we are trying to reach to be able to have the option for our kids to not wear masks? Is it a percentage of vaccinated? Is it a number of cases in schools? Is it a number of cases in the county? What is the actual goal we're trying to achieve? Thank you. Ultimately, certainly the goal for the board and administration is student safety. COVID continues to be a moving target, especially with the newly announced variant. As I said last month, the administration's recommendation was to continue masking through the new year, and then the board would make considerations for possible parameters once we get to the January board meeting. We certainly will consider advice from the Pennsylvania Department of Health, the Montgomery County Office of Public Health. We want to make sure that we've allowed adequate time for our youngest students that have the option to be vaccinated if their parents and guardians so choose. And I also will ask the board in January to consider parameters related to the transmission of COVID-19 both locally and in the county. And we are still in high and substantial transmission, and we're hopeful in the second semester that we will be in low or moderate transmission, and the board will consider parameters at that time. Thank you.
Any other comments from anyone? Seeing none, yeah, I see that now.
Please state your full name, place of residence before commenting.
Hi, Tracy Wattenmaker, White Marsh Township. How many times a day have you been asked to speak a little louder because the person you're with couldn't hear or understand you with your mask on? I'm sure that's happened to all of us, whether you want to wear your mask or you don't. Translate that to kids in their most formative years trying to comprehend and learn. My 5th grader sits in the very last row in the back of her classroom. She's asked this numerous times, and she has to ask her teacher this numerous times. Randy Weingarten, head of the teachers union herself, admitted this as much. Randy Weingarten, who has called for universal masking in schools, removed her mask at an indoor conference in Puerto Rico on November 5th and continued to speak to a packed room of people. When she received criticism for this, she replied, and I quote, "I wear a mask most of the time. We took them off as people were having a hard time hearing us." People were having a hard time hearing us. This woman is at a higher risk of severe COVID as a vaccinated senior than my young children are. Our kids are in these masks for over 6 hours a day. 6 hours a day. When they leave school, they can go with me, just like your children can go, to Target, to CVS, to Starbucks, to pretty much any restaurant in this vicinity, and have the choice to wear their mask or not wear their mask. I'm still wondering what makes the walls of this school that much different. I'm asking for choice. Choice to send my kids to school without their face covered up. Choice for those who want to continue to wear them to absolutely do so. It's been 2 years. We're asking for choice. Please, enough is enough. Thank you.
Does anyone else want to speak? Any comments from the board? Okay, seeing none, this meeting is adjourned.